Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another Dokkan battle video, and today we're going to be talking about the current item situation on Global. I feel like this was kind of an obvious choice for a community response video at the moment, not just because, well, I feel like everybody and their mothers made a video on this, and I of course wanted to toss my hat in the ring, so to speak. I also wanted to hear what you guys think, because I've been hearing some very mixed things and some very interesting takes from the community. So we actually got quite a few replies on this one. We got, like, let's see here, 58, which is crazy. So thank you guys so much to everybody who replied to this tweet. Of course, if you want to participate in stuff like this in the future, definitely follow me on Twitter and just look for these tweets where I say time for another community response video, because that usually heads it up. So let's go ahead and get into it here. By the way, if you are unfamiliar, this is the current situation. I would like to summarize this so everybody is crystal clear. Yep, crystal clear on what we're going into here, right? An issue is found where the app may crash. That's guaranteed, by the way. It's not may crash upon the use of a support item in any stage, either on the map or during battle, right? So it's anywhere. Affected areas: quest, story, growth, challenge tab in event, portal of memories, Z tab excluded. This issue will be fixed as soon as possible. Do not use support items while challenging any of the stages before this issue is fixed. Further details and measures to be taken regarding this issue and described in the previous announcement. So yes, there were also a bunch of events on Global that were actually basically, like, I don't want to say DC'd, I guess, but basically they literally just took them out of the game. If we scroll back here, I actually made a little video tweet where I showed, yeah, as you can see here, right? All of the normal events should be at the top here, right? All of the boss rushes, all of the SBRs, all of the LGE type of stuff, all of those are gone. It is literally just these Dokkan events here, which is really weird to see, for one, but they literally just took them away while they're trying to figure out how to fix this issue. So those events are currently unavailable at the moment as well. So let's go ahead and see what people are saying. T Justice one thinks for sure I can focus on grinding other gotchas. Dragalia specifically for him, of course. Fair enough. I guess that is one positive to look at it. You can free yourself from Dokkan for a little bit and play some other games. Flying Fish, my boy, what's up, bro? I guess the support item market must be more competitive on JP. That's funny. Hey, dang, my boy Matt said anything to keep that useless world T away. Dang, bro. Soap says I was fine with it. Now I'm wondering why they haven't fixed it yet. Also, why they haven't even tweeted about it, unless they are waiting for Sunday to bring back everything for some stupid reason. I sure hope not, because obviously that is still quite a long time away, right? Sunday is, I believe, the 18th, and the Dokkan Now for it is actually going to be on the 15th. So that would be kind of wild if they do wait that long. Also, like it says up here, I did say that this hasn't been fixed in 2 days, because this notice was made the 9th, I believe. So 2 to 3 days now. Sprite Yenna says make everything in the Papa Shop free for 5 minutes. I mean, I guess that would be one nice way to give a little bit of a reward there. I don't know. Shy Gaifu says player base would have complained in any scenario, since that's what the player base does. That's fair enough. As someone whose game crashes often and doesn't really use items, it doesn't alone bother me too much, but the absence of challenge events is a problem. How did this bug even happen? So I can't really give you a clear... I know the question isn't really necessarily directed at me, but I also can't really give you a clear answer on that. I can give you a guess, though. Essentially, right, a lot of the time what happens is, so JP and Global, I believe, are different clients, right? So they run off of 2 different things. It's not like they're running off the same Dokkan Battle server and it's just 2 languages. A lot of the time what they do is they just chuck the code from Global to JP, And when they do that, because there is a little bit of different code on each of them, sometimes it causes various bugs and errors. That's also a lot of the time where, well, to be fair, in my opinion, this is kind of unacceptable for a company as big as Dokkan, but that's why a lot of the time when it comes to global, a lot of the issues that are on JP sometimes get brought over to global, even though they got fixed on JP already. James says we'll get 7 stones for them not letting global play their game for a month. What a W. That's funny. Abel says global. I've been seeing a lot of that lately, though, which I feel like isn't necessarily fair, because obviously we're only hearing like the voice of the global community trash talking global. I would honestly be interested to see what Japanese JP players think of this. But Tara, I'm not sure how to say your name, bro. Thank you for the reply, though. Well, at least I can do easy A's. Pretty irritating. I can't do ESBR, though. Still got 2 stages to do. I don't think I mind it that much. What I do right now is 3 boosts on 23-8 anyways. Basically, my man says, I'm link level grinding. That's respectable. Darbs, what's up, bro? It's dumb, but it's bound to happen sometimes. I play this game casually, so maybe not as big of a deal to me as it is to others. Hoping they do fix it soon for their sake. Give out a lot of stones, otherwise the community is going to have a field day with them. Yeah, I don't know. Did you really hope that they end up giving out some kind of actually substantial compensation? Because obviously Dokkan is infamous for giving out a hot, like, 1 stone for some issue that is kind of a big deal, but they don't really see it that way. So let's hope that they actually give some decent stuff. Flair says should have extended maintenance, that's all. So this is an interesting thing that I've actually seen a lot of people saying, is that they think that they should have just not let the game go live, and they think that they should have just extended the maintenance. Now, here's the thing with that, right? I do think, and I'm sure we'll get to some replies in a little bit, agreeing with this sentiment rather as well. I don't necessarily think that this is the case. While I think that it is, or well, that I agree with it rather, sorry. While I think that it is definitely not the right move, in my opinion, for them to have removed these events. To be fair, I understand why they did, because obviously, you know, for some of these events, you need items to beat them unless you have a super disgusting account. And for some of these events as well, especially if you have a newer account and you're a newer player to the game, you can't beat them, right? Like I know I tweeted about the other day on JP, I started that account for Goten and Trunks and I rainbowed them on that one. With that account, right, the only reason why I got them awakened was because I was using items on basically every run of their Dokkan event. I literally used my whole item loadout to be able to get that done, and I probably wouldn't have been able to get it done without actually using all those items. So for newer players, this is really detrimental. And as well, for a lot of these harder events, it's obviously super, super difficult to do it without items. So, but putting it in extended maintenance, I also feel like isn't the right move either, because I know I would definitely rather be able to play some capacity of the game rather than not play the game at all. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but I mean, like, at least on global right now, obviously you can still do Dokkan events, which for, you know, a decently, you know, like, built account, you don't necessarily need any items for that. You can obviously still do some story events without using items, easy A's you can as well, and of course link level grinding, which I know a lot of people just consider, excuse me, some big content on Dokkan anyways, just link level grinding, but you can still do that. So there is still some stuff to do, and I understand it's not as substantial as people would want. Personally, I'm not like other global players, Miracle Weep says. I think that the situation doesn't bother me as much since I'm mostly farming links, which don't require me items, but the fact that I can't use Boss Rush or IDBH to test out my new EZA is a little bit of a bummer. But at least there's the STR Bojack Dokkan event for that. Besides, I'm going to wait patiently until they fix it, around 2 to 3 weeks at least. No way they're going to push it over 2 months. It's a placeholder. Oh, so yeah, so that was also talking about the World Tournament. Let me see if I can find my boy Air here. There we go. Air was tweeting about how on actual, what do you call it? on the I'm sorry, on the global news, or I guess because of the global missions. I don't see it here, but he tweeted about how the world tournament is going to be pushed back, essentially, because of this bug, which is definitely a good call. Here we go. This is the tweet right here. Good call, I will say, because obviously the world tournament is important that you need to use items on it. Obviously, you don't need items on every single rotation, but there are still some times where you definitely need items, you know, when you're coming across a rotation where everything is like, oh no, I don't have any defense here, or oh no, Jocko and Chaozu are not on rotation. So definitely a good call. I will say the 23rd does seem a really long time away. Obviously, today is the 11th, and that is like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish in a couple days, weeks away, which is really long, especially for them to kind of detour their World Tournament schedule like that. He figured it out, by the way, because of when the missions end. So I hope that that is just a placeholder. I know that's what a lot of people are kind of thinking. I don't know. I would just think that if they were going to do a placeholder, though, they would just say until further notice and not actually give a date. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. DS Fit says new players are going to lose interest. Longtime players who've done everything are going to lose interest. People want to do the actual fun events are going to lose interest if they can't play. This is so damaging, and the fact that it's not fixed yet is crazy. Yeah, I don't know why it's not fixed. That's the most curious part to me. I wonder if it's they literally just can't figure out how to fix this, or if there's just nobody in the office right now. I don't know. Ruben says it's crazy how it's been 2 days and no fix has been given. At this point, we need some compensation like 50 stones. They should just pull out all Dokkan events until they fix. See, now that I kind of disagree with. Like I said, that goes into my point above. I'm not going to repeat myself, but you know what I'm trying to say. But I understand why you would say that, though. Global Boy won. Oh, no. No. My boy Global Boy must be real down bad right now, bro. It makes the difficult stages impossible because you're forced to no item it. New players who need items to play things can't play the game at all, but it is what it is. No support combat. Oh, that's funny. Inu says, I'm content at the moment. I just hope we get some kind of compensation for this whole thing. More than 2 to 3 stones, maybe 20 stones in orbs and stones or kais. Gotcha. Tank, I think it's how you pronounce your name. I think this mostly affects new players. I've yet to find myself in a position where I was actually going to run any events that are blacklisted. I beat them months ago, so I'm already link level grinding anyway. World T pushed back though. Sucks I need orbs. Fair enough. Eric says it's bad right now because we can barely do any hard events, but in the long run, I think there'll be the New Year's UI Goku situation all over again. At least I hope so. I hope they give some kind of big compensation like that. I would definitely be down for that. I think that's what you mean by that. Krim says this is by far the worst thing to happen to Global, and it's likely the best chance we're ever going to get for 300 stone compensation. I don't think that's going to happen because that was an issue with the summoning thing, and that was also dealing with legality. So, support items being bugged basically makes SPR and ESPR impossible for most players, not to mention IDBH and LGE. Cripples gameplay in every way. Yeah, I can definitely agree with making the event super possible, or super impossible rather, obviously, and it definitely hurts you know, playing these events. Granted, they're not even, you know, up right now, so it doesn't really make a difference in that regard, but you know, it does take a lot of the content away, because I know people like to test their units in SBR, and people just kind of like to replay them for fun and see how fast they can go through the events and stuff like this. Reese says, I will say this, at least they were kind enough to delay the world tournament until the issues resolved. Lord knows what would happen if they let the bugs in. Yeah, that would have been crazy. Could you imagine that alternate timeline? Whew. Head Empty says the game is incredibly unfun, says there's no content or challenging content at all. Maskman says it's very weird for me. No, Shinji. Old man Joseph says, well, I think this sucks. Recently got my Inko Jita to 89% in Easy 8 him. Wanted to test him out with the Infinite Dragon Ball History event gone. Can't test him effectively. Not only that, the issue might restrict future events on Saiyan Day. I honestly don't think that it'll take that long to fix this bug. I'm kind of surprised that it's taken them 2 days, but I guess to be fair, like I said, if it's taken them this long, then maybe this is actually like a really, really bad issue. But only time will tell. I really hope that it doesn't affect Saiyan Data. Sub the PewDiePie says, I honestly think it was beneficial for me because it allows me to catch up on link level grinding. Fair enough. Ignorant says, player base can drop drastically if you don't fix it soon. Watching the world burn is fun though. Fair enough. Fair enough. Ander says Gogeta super powerful, super effective, game breaking seems about right. Oh yeah, of course, cause now funny enough, this was also brought upon when Ink Gogeta got an easy A, and I don't know if y'all remember, but when Ink Gogeta was originally released on global, he also caused a bunch of problems as well. So, not technically him, but it just happened to be him at the same time. So it's kind of funny how Ink Gogeta curses global in a weird way. Mexico's Elite says, since there's nothing to do, I'm just taking Truth's advice and farming easy A's for as any, and also farming links and Dokkan events for the medals of characters I don't have. I mean, just because I can't play difficult content doesn't mean there's nothing left to do. Adapt and overcome. My man! That's what I like to hear. Pikmin 4-2. That's a great name. I think I understand that reference. Cue the Captain America again. This is why I play both versions, but remain free to play on JP and a fish on global. That's a funny way to describe it. When something is wrong with one, I can play the other. Understand not wanting to commit to both versions, but my man global being down gives me such a good reason to give the God event some tries. That's fair. Pain, agony, even. My man said, I think we should just open the events, or open the vents as if there are no mistakes. A lot of people do the events without items, so for difficult events, they cost 0 acts, so it's okay. I will say, that is a fair point, right? I guess the nice thing about those really difficult events is that even though you can't really beat them with items, depending on who you are, right? At least they don't cost any stamina, so I guess you're not really wasting anything, but I guess except the player's time. Kura says at this point, it's just link level or farm easy A's since the actual interesting events are gone. Them moving the tournament to 23rd is really weird. It also worrying to see how one update manages to break version or global this much. If they can't get this right, how much will version Z be? That is a good point. I didn't even really think about that. Yeah, kind of crazy to think that this one little update broke it. What is this meme here? If I had a nickel for every time Gogeta broke Cold Source, I had 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. That is fair. I can definitely agree with that. That's funny. Alright, so every day it's fixed 10 stones. Fair enough. Best UR is better than other TR. He broke Dokkan twice. Alright, I think we're going to do a couple more replies and then we'll hop on out of here. I think it's annoying, but I can either just grind links or not play the game for like 2 to 3 days and everything will be back up, so no worries there. After watching Gresh talk about it, I do fully understand the situation. Yes, I think this is a big deal. For me, not really, but I want to be able to test my new int Easy 8 Gogeta, and I can't do so. So yes, this is a big deal. Dokkan needs to get to it ASAP. I'm concerned about it. I think it's definitely going to demotivate new players heavily. Not to mention older players don't have anything to do besides link level grinding and pass stage 30 on easy A's. It's really puzzling situation in general, and I hope they can get it fixed within a week or two. Me too. I would go as far to say the game is dead, and about the only thing you can do is link level grinding. I think not playing, we're not playing the game full stop. It's not the game without a bulk of content unplayable. People spend a lot of money on this game to pull their desired characters, to take those characters into any event they choose. The fact that they cannot is a massive disservice. I mean, yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Human Sands, that is an awful name, but thank you for your reply. Hey, is bad for the game if they keep this up for long because it limits what the player can do and makes it not fun. IMO, it's better than IMO, it's better than it happened now rather than during Global 6 year, because imagine it being postponed on Global to August. That's fair, actually. I guess it's good that something like this happened now and hopefully not them. Alright, we'll read this last reply and then we'll hop out of here. Subarashi Rose. The problem I have is this. How is this not found out until now? It's not something small, it's a major mechanic of the game. You cannot tell me they knew about this bug when they updated the game. It probably a developer version in their offices and nobody knew that this bug was in the patch. I was going to say, is this a case under incompetence from Global Dokkan? They need to get it fixed soon before they start losing players. And more importantly, is this not a small bug? What does this tell people about Saiyan Day? Sorry for the rant, it's just so aggravating. I mean, I can understand definitely being frustrated about it. Regardless, though, I do agree that to some degree it's like, how did they not know about it? But at the same time, like I said, I think it has to do with the thing I talked about previously, where it's the whole thing where it's conflicting code, right? When they implemented it onto JP, they didn't really have any problems with it, but because of the differences in Global's code, it no work. I think that's why, though. Alright, regardless though, thank you all so much for your replies. As always, really appreciate ya. Definitely follow me on Twitter if you would like to participate in stuff like this in the future, as always. And catch you in the next one. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.